Hi, my name is Anne Hintz. I hope you've already watched my original video about my journey into my body. You may need to have seen this in order to understand what I'm talking about in this video. Here I'm going to talk about the third step, which I started once I was already able to keep my awareness inside my body. To get here, to this step, I had been using EFT to tap about the physical sensations associated with emotions. I had spent many hours locating the physical feelings inside of myself and feeling the feelings. And I had spent many hours blowing through tension and learning to focus my awareness on a single point inside. So at this point, I could fairly readily locate an area of tension and go inside and feel it. What changed was that one day I went inside to feel the tension inside my abdomen. I felt the tension release, and then I realized that my awareness was still inside of my abdomen. I realized that these words do little to describe the actual experience itself, and that you probably will not understand what I'm talking about until you have experienced it yourself. Until then, carefully considered words are the best tools that I have to describe the experience. To begin with, I had to focus pretty hard to keep my awareness on a single point. My thinking mind could tell me where to focus, but then I had to let go of thinking and simply feel. A random thought could pull my awareness right out of my body, and it did that often. The first time that my awareness stayed inside, when I was sensing inside my abdomen, I decided to try and move my awareness around. I moved it to my right and was still aware on the inside. Then I would start thinking thoughts again, and my awareness would pop back out. So it would take concentration to stay on the inside. Concentration to feel, to be aware, not to think. And it took practice. I would notice that some areas I could feel, but other areas felt almost numb, void-like, or empty. So I would concentrate my awareness on those areas that I could feel. One day I had this idea that I could put my awareness on the empty area, the void-like area, and see what happened. This was in my lower right abdomen. So I focused my awareness on this area that felt empty or void-like. And lo and behold, a whole new world of tension opened up to me from my right foot all the way through my right hip and into my right rib cage. I had been born with my right foot up against my right shin. After several weeks of physical therapy, my foot was healed and I was adopted and never heard about my foot again until meeting my birth mother when I was 17. I had never been aware of any residual pain or tension from these early events, but now here it was. The tension had been hidden inside, under my awareness. Now I was aware of the tension through the fascia from my right foot up through my right thigh, my hip, into the liver area and my right rib cage. Tension that I had not been ready to feel before, but now I was. To me, this seemed like I had gone into an internal black hole. From the outside, it had seemed like an innocuous area, hiding, not wanting to be seen. But as I approached it with my awareness, spent time at the entrance, I was sucked into this whole new world of tension. I have put my awareness in many numb or void-like areas since then, but none have opened up to such an expansive new world as this one did. So now, as I am scanning around inside, I pay attention to areas I can feel and areas that feel numb, knowing that those areas simply need more of my focused attention. One thing I started to notice was that every time I released tension somewhere in my torso, I was also aware of tension releasing in my neck or my head. And this still happens to this day. Now, in fact, and this might be a little tricky for you to get your mind around, when I put my awareness somewhere inside my torso, The awareness can also be in my neck or head at the same time. So as I am focusing on tension, say in a rib, I can tell that tension is also in my cheek. If I then ask myself, is my awareness in my rib? I can answer yes. And if I ask myself, is my awareness also in my cheek? My answer is also yes. It is in both places at the same time. It is like it overlaps on some level. I mentioned in my video, My Journey into My Body, that I can actually hear the tension release in my fascia. It is the fascia release in my head and neck that I can hear, as that is obviously closer to my ears than my torso. It sounds and feels like fabric ripping. I believe it is literally releasing the bonds from my past, holding me tight. Initially, I would not feel and hear this release very often. But these days, I feel it releasing and hear it releasing probably hundreds of times a day. When you understand how much fascia is in the neck, then you will realize how much fascia needs to be released in order to move my neck to the side. Then hundreds of micro movements a day does not seem an unreasonable pace. Often my neck will crack as it readjusts to its new reality. I have my own built-in chiropractor. When I first started doing this deep inner work, I would do it with my eyes closed so that I could concentrate. Now, however, I can do it with my eyes open when walking, driving, or watching TV. I will explain in another video sometime how I believe this whole step works to open the inner eye. As you probably know by now, I have detailed my journey in my book called A Pathway to Insight. The link to it is in the description below. Please hit the subscribe button if you would like to be notified of new videos. Thank you for your time.